But these people that were talking about the girls going missing back then, they were talking about girls, and I thought young girls, but it turned out that they were like young women that they would like give information to someone and then they would come get them off the street, they said. That's how it was described to me by somebody that I interviewed at the hotel, because that's where I tracked it to. This girl, I had just asked her for something one day and she asked me if I had a light, and I said, no, I don't smoke. And then she was like, I know, I didn't ask you that. I just asked if you had a light. And she said, she looked at me and winked, and I was like, I got a little light left. And she said, me too. I got a whole bunch of it. She said, you need to go in that hotel and talk to them and see if you can get a room. I said, why? She said, because nobody knows that Richard Ramirez stayed there, and all the bad guys too. Like everyone they ever had that was out there in those prisons. I said, which ones? And she was like, Pelican Bay and all of those, the big ones, the nasty ones out there on the coast. She said they would let them out. She said they let them out. She said for good behavior, but it's not true. She said they just let them wander around, and they keep them in a hotel on like work release, and they don't have to do anything until it's time for them to go to report for duty. And I was like, what do you mean report for duty? She was like, they never take them anywhere. They just let them run until they get tired of running, and then the community just brings them in. And that's it. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. And I was like, he let himself be taken eventually because he just got tired of doing it. They said, just let him wear himself out. He'll get tired of it eventually. And I'm like, that's an awfully weird tactic to use, but that's exactly what they did. And when I came up there, it was around that time that he was supposedly in the jail still, going to back and forth to court, and his ass was out walking around, and he found me under the overpass, and I didn't know. And I swear to God, this really happened, and the Ramirezes have hunted my ass ever since for saying it. But that motherfucker caught me. He was the only one that caught me and released me that ever got a hold of me like that. He caught me and he let me go, like right away. He said, like that. And I said, what? And he said, do you know who I am? And I was like, yeah, I know who you are, and I smelled you from a mile away. And I said, and I've already been told about you. I know exactly what you do. And it was like God was just telling me what to say. And he said, you're a blasphemer. And I said, no, you're the blasphemer, and you're the one who came to be a scourge upon the earth. And he said, I'm turning myself in now. And I said, you can't get out of here fast enough. And he went and stole somebody's car right then and got in it and took off, like right then. And I was like, what the hell did I just do? And that was when I'm pretty sure that was